Well, hello everybody. I am delighted to have you all join me today. Today is Friday. Today is the day where we do questions and answers. And so I have got answers for your questions. The only rules are you cannot post them here. You have to post them, send them into our support team. Support team will send them over to me and I will answer them. I've got them all right here. So it's support@savingdinner.com. That's how you get your questions answered. That's how you know for sure that I'm going to have eyeballs on them. Otherwise, if they could get lost in the shuffle here, okay? And I hate to be like that, but that's just kind of the way it is. Also, I had people asking me about all of our supplements. You can see them all right there. Look at that. Almost. I believe that's all of them. If not, we're missing one. There's Willow, Sherry, Tracy. Good afternoon, everybody. And today is our last day for the 15% off sale. I've never done this before. 15% off anything in the shop. You have to spend at least $27. We have free shipping. So it's, stock up. What can I tell you? Take advantage of that sale. 15% off everything in the shop. So I strongly suggest that you get in there and take advantage of that. I will run this sale until midnight tonight. Yay! And I've seen a lot of people in there, a lot of people taking advantage of it. We're probably going to go into a sold out situation. So if you are interested in trying any of my supplements, by all means, that's what you want to do. You want to get in there and you want to go get them. I see Kathy and Lisa. Yay! Tracy, I know I saw your order yesterday. I'm glad you ordered what you did. I think you're going to be really, really pleased with everything that's there. Here's the thing. Supplements are not all created equal. It's sort of like going to a clothing store. You can buy a pair of pants at Neiman Marcus, or you can buy a pair of pants at Walmart. They're both pants, but I'm going to tell you probably the ones at Neiman Marcus are going to last longer, and they're probably a little too foo-foo and probably a little too expensive. But let's use another a good quality store like Nordstrom. You buy a pair of pants at Nordstrom, you're going to have those pants. You buy them at Walmart, you can buy a pair of black pants at Walmart. They're not going to last. It's the same thing with supplements. Not all supplements are created equal. Just because they have the same ingredients doesn't mean they have the same quality ingredients. So that's really important to me. These are pharmaceutical grade supplements. You cannot get these without working with a nutritionist or a doctor. My supplier they don't have them on the internet. You can't buy them on Amazon. They're really very persnickety about who they work with, and that's one of the reasons why I work with them, and I really like them. So they're not, inexpensive, cheap, crappy supplements that you should be afraid to put in your body. Some of that stuff is really bad. But anyway, so that's how this whole thing works. And I'm in the place where in my, I don't have enough volume so that I can offer the discounts that I would like to. That's one of my goals. At some point, I get enough volume so I can offer a greater discount on supplements, because I think everybody on the planet should be taking some kind of a supplement. The truth is we just don't get it from our food the way we used to. We all need to be eating a very good, healthy diet. Doing good supplements has nothing to do with having a crappy diet. It just means that what you need to do is make sure that you're getting a good, healthy diet and that you're adding supplementation into the places where you might miss. It's that simple. And the difference in how you feel is night and day. And I can attest to that. So I just finished I'm sitting here trying not to burp, but I had my smoothie at noon today. I have a dirty smoothie cup around here, I'll show it to you, because it did turn out to be kind of an ugly color. See how kind of grayish it is? But that smoothie today had fresh peaches in it. Fresh peaches and spinach. Weird combo. It worked fine. And I put a little bit of matcha tea in it. And of course, all the goodies. I have the Fiber Mender 3.0. I think we're pretty much, I don't know, we might not, if we're not out of it, we're going to be out of it shortly. It's been flying off the shelves. I do the unflavored Perfect Paleo Protein because I can flavor it any way I want. I can go with vanilla or I can go with chocolate. I just get the unflavored cacao, or I get like vanilla extract and put it in there. But this is how you keep things versatile, folks. And nobody orders this as much as they should, but I'm telling you, this is the way to go, because this makes you flexible. It's fantastic that way. So that's what I put in there. I put in the Perfect Paleo Protein. I put in Fiber Mender 3.0. You will poop like an absolute queen. That's between you and me, okay? Don't tell anybody. But you will poop like a queen. The other thing that it does is it fills and expands your stomach. This is made with glycomannan, and glycomannan is just, it's konjac root. It just grows, and it's amazing stuff. So I love that stuff. I also like SAMe. This is one of my tricks for helping to keep my joints limber and going. And by the way, this also gives you a happy attitude. It helps with, reinforcing happy attitudes in the UK and the EU for that matter. SAMe, it's an enzyme, for heaven's sakes. This is by prescription only. Who knew? And this has been, a doctor told me about this, and forever I've been using it, and 20 something years, and it has been the key to keeping me from carpal tunnel issues, which I had amazingly when I first started when I was a freelance writer. I was just an absolute mess. I'd go to bed at night just crying in pain. And it was our doctor, Marla's and my doctor, we both had the same guy who helped me out so tremendously with that. So Proactive Probiotic, you take this is love this stuff. I take this at night. I figure when I go to bed at night, I need all the help that I can get to have my system working for me. What happens at night is one of the reasons we sleep, our body starts to repair. That's why it's so important not to eat before you go to bed. You don't want all your body's energy going toward digestion. You want it all going toward repair. And this gives your body something to do. It supplants the Proactive Probiotic into your gut. And this particular kind, which I really like, is able to withstand stomach acid. It doesn't need to be refrigerated because of the way that the process that they've used. It's acid resistant. So like I said, just fine in the stomach, and it goes right into your gut where you need it and starts doing its magic. So at night, when I take this, I'm thinking about all the little proactive probiotic fairies doing their job of giving me what I need. So it's fantastic. Just Juice Veggies. Let me just tell you about that for half a second. It's 5 to 7 servings of fruit and vegetables in one scoop. So I love this for kids, especially because they can just be such persnickety little people. But we always, we have to be on top of that. L-glutamine. I explained this the other day. This will stop cravings on contact. Just put it right on your teeth. It'll stop cravings. A psychiatrist told me about this, and it is something that she has used with addicts. That's what she does. She deals with addicts. So, hey, if she can handle a heroin addict, it can certainly handle a sugar craving, right? It does on contact, and it helps heal your gut. It is amazing. It's an amino acid, and it just goes to work. Those little junctures that get loose in everybody's gut, everybody has it, leaky gut, you've heard about it before. This is one of the things, that and bone broth and the collagen that we take. It helps with your skin, and it helps too with your, it helps as well with your gut. So that's hugely important. I'm 61 years old. I think my skin looks pretty good. The collagen is the main thing, and also getting my gut repaired. That is the other thing. So, if you're at all, it has less to do with the, potions you put on your skin and more to do with what you're doing on the inside. Now, I am using Dina's and Jay's skincare line, and I am super impressed with it. But I'm also taking care of business on the inside. That's the thing that you need to do. You need to make sure that you're constantly taking care of business. I see a bunch of people now. I see Sarah and Christy and Kimberly. I see Terry. Hi, this is great. she was wondering, Terry was wondering about not having to, it's the way they process this probiotic. You don't, and it absolutely 100% does not need to be refrigerated. I asked them, I toured their plant. I saw the way that they did everything. I saw the way that they have the clean room and everything. Every single, this is the other thing that's so interesting, and this does not happen everywhere. And this is why, you pay for excellence, but they take every raw ingredient that they buy, all over the world, and they bring it in, and they isolate it, and they test it for efficacy, for cleanliness, for everything, to make sure that before they add it into that supplement, that it's going to be okay. This is why sometimes we run out of stuff. This happened last year. We ran out of vanilla. I think it was vanilla perfect paleo protein. We were out of that for, I don't know, like 3 months or 2 months or something. And it was because they rejected the collagen and sent it back. We had a stockpile of chocolate and unflavored, but it was the vanilla that we were out of forever. We couldn't get it in, and we were just waiting on them to, put it, get us a new batch. But if they don't have a good tested batch, it goes back. They reject the whole thing. So I'm very impressed with that, because I have toured other places. I've seen the way supplements are done, and there's dirty supplements out there, folks. We have to be very, very careful of what it is that we're putting into our bodies. So I see Diane. Hi, Diane. It's so good to see you. And Sarah. Yes, Sarah, the subscription works for the yearly only, for the yearly. So that's $97. It's already a savings. All you have to do is go to store.savingdinner.com, click on the menu planning button, and you'll see there's that little, talking video where I'm doing kind of the rhyme thing. Just go past that and you'll see 3 different choices. It has to be that one. It has to be the $97 dinner answers, and you'll get a 15% off. So that works really well. Mary Beth Wolf, hit. Good to see you. Charlotte Martin, good to see you too. Anyway, so glad everybody is here. I do have your questions in, and I know next time we'll have more than what I have now, but I got some really good ones, and I love that, you guys are thinkers, and you've got some really cool stuff in here. I am going to get to those in just half a second, but I want to remind you that as you share this video, you increase your chances of winning a brand new book. This is the Saving Dinner book. Now, somebody else was, Marla and I had dinner last night. We had the best time, by the way, as we always do when we play our games and what have you, but it was just a fun dinner. We were out on the screen porch. It's beautiful outside, and I did a spatchcock chicken, marinated, and we had all the vegetables from the farmer's market. I felt really good. Everything was so delicious. And she was talking about, she watched my video, and she was talking about when I did QVC, and she goes, yeah, it was for Frantic Family. And I said, no, it was for this one. It's for healthy foods. This is my very, very first book. And I wrote it in 2000, I think, or 2001. I wrote it in 2000, and it was in 2001. But isn't it cute? I still love it. I think it's adorable. But this was what I was writing because I was in the trenches of, raising kids myself. So anyway, it's no longer in print. Champion Press, who was the people who did this book, are no longer in business. And that doesn't break my heart, by the way. That's enough to say enough of that. But in the meantime, there's all this, the real Saving Dinner books. So Saving Dinner the Vegetarian Way, Saving Dinner Basics, Saving Dinner the Low Carb Way. This is a good one too. This is one of my favorites. This is the one Marla and I used to lose weight, and it's in the Fly Shop, by the way. And Saving Dinner for the Holidays. If you don't have this, it's got my famous turkey in there. And my turkey plan is, I think, my Thanksgiving plan has saved a few Thanksgivings along the way. And then my latest book, which it's hard to believe it's been 5 years, almost 5 years. This came out in September of 2014, and that's Part-Time Paleo. How to Go Paleo Without Going Crazy. It's a good book. What can I tell you? I wrote it. So That said, oh, and then the other thing I wanted to show you too is my Take Back Your Life journal, which I have a workshop that goes with it and tells you exactly how to use this and how to take your goals and put them into 90-day livable terms and start making things really pop and really happen in your life. And it's a fantastic tool. I learned the 90-day method from a book called The 12-Week Year. And I went, you know what, this is great. And I looked online, and he had a whole course that went with it and started making it really complicated. And I said, well, we don't need complications. We need simplifications. We need this for women. We need to understand and feel. And for me, I want the change. I want to do all the things, but I also need to feel it. I need to feel it. It needs to not just be like pie in the sky. I'm going to write this stuff down and forget about it. I need to feel it. I need to have the gratitude there. I need to put the intention and the emotion behind the thing that it is that I want to do. And that's exactly what this is all about. I think it just addresses all of who we are as women. And it helps us to get back the life that we want, the vibrancy that we want in our lives, the things that we want to accomplish. Anyway, so it's on sale too, so grab it right now. And the other thing is, while you're getting your hardback, we will send you for free the PDF so that you can just print it off and start really wrapping your head around this whole concept of how 12 weeks, in just 12 weeks, you can completely change your life. Isn't that kind of a cool thing? I think so. Okay, so I promised you that we are going to answer some questions, and I got some really good ones. And Kathy, who wrote me a book. Here's Kathy's question on 2 pages. And of course, I've got it huge so I can read it even with my readers on. But Kathy, I'm going to answer your question last, okay? In the meantime, Veronica had a question about oil. And she says, I know that olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil are good to use. I also use sesame oil for Chinese stir fries. Is this okay? Years ago, doctors told me I should use margarine and canola oil, and I know now that they're bad. Trying to get it all straight. That was from Veronica. And I will tell you right now that please understand this and this is not putting anybody's doctor down, but doctors traditionally are given a class on nutrition. I've had more nutrition than they have. And I certainly don't have my MD, but I have had way more nutrition than they have. So my suggestion is that you don't go to your doctor for nutritional advice unless he's really practiced. I have a good friend who is a cardiologist, brilliant man. I love him to death. He also became a chef. He also went and got his CNC. That's what I have. It's a certificate. It's my certification for nutrition. He did that because he wanted a nutrition education. And you just don't get that in medical school. And that's what he said. He said, I had to go elsewhere to go get it. So if he's telling you that, and listen, it's coming secondhand from me, but this is the truth. You do not go to your doctor for nutritional advice. You go to your doctor for whatever ails you, but you don't go to them just say, hey, help a sister out. I need, some nutritional advice, because they're going to give you something likely that's old. It doesn't apply anymore. The research doesn't back it up, etc. Whereas with a nutritionist, and especially when you're looking at somebody who is, looking at who's actively involved in a lot of research, let's just go with that. You're going to get good advice. You want up-to-date advice. You don't want somebody giving you just a bunch of, stuff. Anyway, back to that. Sorry, I had to go off on that. But Veronica, you are right about avocado oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. And I'm going to talk about those a little bit. First of all, olive oil, there are different varying ways. You can get olive oil. You can just get regular olive oil. It'll say nothing about being a virgin or extra virgin or any of that. But an extra virgin olive oil is the first pressing of olive oil, and it is the most delicate. Those fatty acids are just delicate. And you really need to keep it in a dark cupboard and keep it away from heat source and that kind of a thing. That's how you protect those fatty acids. Once upon a time, we were told to put everything in the refrigerator. That is not necessarily the case with olive oil. It's a little hardier than others, but just keep it in a dark cupboard, use it often, And don't keep it anywhere near the stove, okay? Just want to keep it away from heat, and you want to keep it in the dark. So that's number one, and that's important. The second thing that you need to look at is that olive oil, if you get, there's extra virgin and then there's virgin, which is the second pressing, and it's a little heartier, and it will hold up a little bit better to cooking. But even so, it's only about 300, 350 degrees for the smoke point. So olive oil may not be the very best thing to cook in. I prefer cooking in either avocado oil because it's a 425 degrees smoke point, or I like ghee. It's 450 degrees. Now, ghee is like essentially clarified butter. All the milk solids are taken out, and so you're left with this butter oil. And it's just an oil that's like 99% dairy-free. Isn't that funny? And even though it came from 100% a dairy product, but because of the way you take out the solids and everything, it's just this clear yellow oil, and it's very buttery tasting, and it's delicious. You can saute your veggies in it, and nobody is going to complain about having buttery tasting sauteed vegetables. So it's a nice thing. It's another flavor component that you can add when you're cooking. So I like that a lot. Coconut oil is, believe it or not, everybody thinks it has a high smoke point. It does not. It's about 375, as I recall. Could be even a little bit lower than that. Be careful when you're cooking with olive oil, coconut oil. Just be careful. If you see any kind of fat in your pan smoking, that means you've gone too far. And that healthy fat, those essential fatty acids, become broken. They become trans fatty acids at that point, which is essentially like margarine, and you don't want that. That's a broken fat is going to break you. It causes inflammation in the body, and your body, you basically cannot identify it very well. You remember yesterday I was talking about how your body needs to be able to identify what is going inside. So it understands nutrients, it understands certain foods because they represent certain nutrients, but it breaks it all down from nutrients. It can't understand some kind like a BHT. Well, what is that? That's, preservative. It can't understand trisodium phosphate. It can't understand these things. And instead it rebels and says, yikes, that's not food. And it's immediate inflammation. So just understand that. It's a very simple thing. Our bodies need certain things and don't need other things because it causes issues and inflammation. So I want to keep you healthy and wealthy and wise. I don't want to see you get hurt. And we, unintentionally hurt ourselves by using the wrong products. And a simple shift in what fat you're using to cook in or saute in, and understanding that if it's smoking, it's bad, is going to keep you well. It's going to keep you healthy. So it's super important. All right. She's asking now, she said, I also use sesame oil for Chinese stir fries. Is that okay? Absolutely. Sesame oil is another one of those things that you can use, of course. But here's the thing you need to understand about any oil. And I don't condone canola oil. I don't like it. It's an industrial oil. There's a lot of reasons I don't like it. It is a very controversial topic. I have a very good health friend of mine who's saying, no, there's nothing wrong with canola oil. And I'm like, I don't know. And we've gone back and forth on it. So, take all of that. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research, because this is your body. You're in charge of it, not me. But I can assure you, though, that a good clean oil is always going to be way superior over bad fractionated oils. And there's a ton of them out there. You got to get rid of those vegetable oils, Wesson and all that. That stuff's all garbage. And the way that they refine it is with chemicals and high heat, and it just destroys all the essential fatty acids. So what's the point? Well, the point is it's greasy and they can cook in it. Well, you can do better than that. Just at least do this part. Whatever oil you choose, and I hope you choose avocado oil. I hope you choose coconut oil for some things. I hope you choose avocado oil and olive oil and all of those. Just make sure they're clean. Make sure it's expeller pressed or cold pressed. And then once that oil is opened, with the exception of olive oil, keep it in the fridge. That way you're going to keep those little, you're protecting your essential fatty acids. So there's a little piece for you. You know, you can use things. The other thing I would say about sesame oil is make sure you're using just a pure sesame oil, not the short little squatty bottles with the really dark brown oil in it. That's more of a flavoring oil. It's a toasted sesame oil. You don't want to be cooking in that because that doesn't work as well. It's more concentrated and it's used more as a flavoring. All right. Okay, so that was from Veronica. I hope that answered your question, Veronica. I loved answering that. Oh, April and Kathy. Kathy, the stuff that gets rid of the cravings is L-glutamine. And you know that stuff. I've told you that. You've been in my Take Back Your Body things before. Anyway, so that takes care of all of that. I hope that answers all those questions on oil. It's a tricky question, and smoke point is important, but so is the source, and so is the way that it's processed. Always expeller pressed or cold pressed. Everything goes into the refrigerator except olive oil. Olive oil is hardy enough if it is kept in the dark, that's your cupboard, and away from heat. I promise you. And you use it, you know, don't let it sit there for 5 days, 5 years and just, it's not going to work out too well for you. All right, here's from Judy. I really want to start menu planning. My problem is that I want to plan healthy nutritional meals, but my husband has no interest. The nerve! He has a terrible diet, largely from bad habits from his childhood. He loves processed food. I hate it. How do you plan with 2 different eating styles? Judy. Okay, Judy, couple of things. First of all, your husband's love of processed foods is not going to be serving him anytime soon. If he has any kind of chronic health issues or whatever going on, you could pretty much pinpoint it to eating a really crappy diet. Think about it this way. If you're going to be building a house and you've got toothpicks and glue and duct tape and some aluminum foil, you're only going to be able to get so far. You need the integrity of the ingredients, the integrity of your building materials to be there, or you're not going to build that house. So if you have weaknesses in your constitution, which you will have if you haven't been taking care of the house with all the house repairs, then there's going to be things popping up. So if that's the case, my suggestion is, and this is just woman to woman, is to just say, okay, let's talk about this processed food thing. How can we make a shift into doing something else entirely, you know, a little bit different and getting away from these things? I mean, it's one thing if he wants to have, like, you know, a casserole that his mom used to make and just agree, once a week I'm going to make you that gross casserole, and then shift over into, how about if I make this meat, this fish, this chicken, and then I'll eat the vegetables and you can say no to them or whatever. Here's the thing. You can never bring anybody along by shaming them into eating well. But if you, out of concern, and you just say, you know, honey, I'm concerned because you have high blood pressure. I'm concerned because we're a little, you know, your doctor said to really what you're in a pre-diabetic state, and you're continuing to eat like this, which is only going to exacerbate exactly what's going on now. How about if we shift to this? What do you think of this recipe? This is a stir-fry recipe that I have for this, you know, Chinese cashew chicken that's delicious. And I know a way that we can make this so that it's going to, you know, feed both of us well, and I think you'll like it. I'd like you to be able to bring him along in a perfect world, in a perfect world. Otherwise, what I would do is this. I would go, so for your menu planning, go with what it is that you want to do. So if you want to use dinner answers, you can do that. So let's say you want to go paleo, or you want to have a keto diet, whatever it is, because we have all styles in dinner answers. You can choose your menu. You can have it done for you, or you can go into the menu planning software itself and just completely customize it 100% to the way you want it. Pick your entree, right? Go through it with your husband and say, does this sound good? Would you like this? Will you eat that? We have a smothered pork chop recipe that's absolutely delicious. There's a bunch of stuff in there. You know, everybody doesn't 100% of the time eat processed foods. You know, they might take a protein and process the heck out of it, you know. But if you showed him a recipe for something, hey, how does this sound? And it's got the onions, it's got all this stuff on it. And he might just go, wow, that sounds delicious. Yeah, go ahead and make that. And then you stock up on the vegetables. You make your salads. You have all the things that you need and you want in your diet. But, you know, you just make sure that you're also feeding him and bringing him along. But give him some food for thought. Give him some things to think about in a way that's loving and kind, and that's not naggy and just saying, hey, you know, this is crap. You can't eat this and this. You know, that's my job to say, hey, that's crap. So I want to save you from being in the position of being that shrew that's going, meh, meh, meh. Instead, just be, hey, I'm concerned. You know, there's a definite correlation between eating poorly and having health issues. That's a done deal. Everyone, we all know that. It's in the news. It's in front of our face. So if we can bring someone along gently, we can try it. Like, ask him to take a look. What do you think of these recipes? Just a couple of fun ones. Garlic lime chicken. You can find that on Saving Dinner. Everybody loves garlic lime chicken. It's my iconic recipe. For whatever reason, I cooked it a million times on TV, all over, everywhere, and nobody's ever not liked it. So your processed food guy, he will like this. I would definitely do that. So Judy, I hope that helps answer it. But just remember, you know, chicken or whatever protein it is that you're cooking, and then you just pile on the vegetables on the back end for yourself. But, you know, you can't refuse to not make things if you've always done that for him. But maybe start negotiating a little bit about moving him into this healthier way of eating. I think you would do both of yourselves a favor and stop being a short order cook, because no one likes that. Oh, hi, Mary Jo. Hi, Brenda, Kimmy. Baby steps with his nutritional improvement. She is absolutely right. Oh, and thanks for the love, you guys. All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read Kathy's question. As you can see, there's two sides to it. She is a detail queen, which I love. Details are fabulous and are super helpful. So I am going to go through this as much as I can. And this is an important question because she's talking about some issues that she's had, and she saw some similarities of some of the things that I have going on, right? So what I wanted to tell you was, if you have an autoimmune disease, or you're, you know, rheumatoid arthritis is autoimmune, MS, lupus, Hashimoto's, I mean, there's like a gazillion autoimmune diseases. I have a theory about autoimmune diseases, and I have actually checked this out with my friend Terry Walls, and I said, this is my theory, and she said she thinks it's a good one. So she's an MD, I'm going to listen to her. But my theory is that an autoimmune disease is the same thing. It just on everybody, whether you have MS, Hashimoto's, or, you know, whatever it is, it just presents in a different place. You know, it's sort of like cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, you know, all the different cancers. It's just, where does it present, right? And it has its own unique characteristics. I was going to say qualities, but there's no quality there. Unique characteristics. But that's how it is too with when you're dealing with an autoimmune disease. So I'm going to read part of that question, and I'm going to kind of skip some of it. But or maybe I won't, and maybe I'll read all of it so I don't forget everything. But there's a lot to this, and it's going to take me a minute to unpack. So please take notes. If you are in this position of having an autoimmune disease, I'm convinced I can help you. I'm certainly not a doctor, but I can help you with some lifestyle things that you can do yourself that will make all the difference in the world. It did for me. It has for many, many people. It's one of the reasons I wrote Part-Time Paleo, because at that point I was starting to feel like a new woman again. So it was just really great. All right, so here's the question. I watched your recording video after seeing it posted by Fly Lady today. I actually subscribed to your menu mailer years ago. But what caused, hold on, uh-oh. I'm in. Okay, sorry about that. But what really caught my attention today was your statement. You were able to heal your high white blood count and your skin issues related to Hashimoto's disease and inflammation. I've been going through this exact same thing for a couple of years now. I'd like to know what you did to accomplish this. Her doctors are giving her Synthroid, which I am not a fan of. I did a month of Synthroid, and it did not work well for me. And her face has been red, rough, and tender since 2 summers ago. Massive hives, body itching, etc. She has to take Claritin. Lots more detail that I'm going to skip. I don't expect you to share all of this. Okay, I won't. I've seen a holistic type of doctor, lots of supplements, never helped the issue or inflammation. She's been to an ENT, OB, urologist, gastroenterologist, allergist, immunologist. Yikes. Okay. So they said it's she's not allergic to anything and most likely is autoimmune related to thyroid. Okay, but here I don't see her saying that she has Hashimoto's. She has contact dermatitis. I get that too. And even pressure allergies. Okay, so here's what I have found from my research and from my own personal life. And there's 2 things that you have to take a look at, okay? First thing is that with any autoimmune disease, you have a leaky gut. I think most people in the universe have a leaky gut. Leaky guts end up putting your body in a state of thinking it's being attacked because food is literally leaking out of your gut into your body cavity. And so what does your body say? Attack, attack. And it sends in the Pac-Man to go get them. And so then your body that starts the inflammation off right there, right? You've got inflammation brewing right there, and your body gets mixed up. And when you have an autoimmune disease, you're getting attacked. Whatever it is that you have is getting attacked. Like, if you have a thyroid issue, like Hashimoto's and Graves are both autoimmune thyroid issues. And a lot of times they don't even test for that. They'll just say you're hypo or you're hyperactive thyroid, which is a completely different thing than having an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease means your antibodies are up, and that's the big difference. And when you're under attack, it's all about when you bring that back, how to bring that back down, okay? Bringing it back down is something that happens when you are taking the proper steps to do that, which is to handle the stress, handle the leaky gut, and to straighten out your nutrition, okay? So the stress, we're all under stress. I don't care if you tell me you're the most Zen monk in the world, great. But if you live in this universe, if you live on the planet Earth, you are under stress continually because we live in a toxic world, and our body is constantly having to deal with the air that we breathe, whether it's clean country air with all the pollen, that's a stressor on your body, or in the city with all the smog, that's a stressor on your body, or being around plastic and having plastics around us. All of these things, the environmental toxins, what it is that you put on your skin, what it is, how you shampoo your hair, your mascara, all of it. Your body is going to react to all of it. There's a little bit of a trigger that goes on, and the more that we can clean things up, the better our bodies are going to respond because they have less to deal with. So removing the stress and putting in good practices of stress reduction is fantastic. For example, I have a meditation app. I think I've shown this to you before. Right here, it's called Brain FM, and I'll open it up so you can see Brain FM, right? And I do the meditation app right here. And if you press on that, it gives you the choice of doing 15 or 30 minutes. And I do 15 minutes in the morning. It gets me focused. It takes me out of myself, and I can feel my body calming down. Now, sometimes I'll do it twice. I'll do the 15 minutes of just, becoming one with my universe, and I'll do it again, and I will speak health to my body. This is taking you from mindlessness and just saying, whatever's going on in my body, to mindfulness of understanding, hey, there's something going on in there, and just bringing in your parasympathetic nervous system to help deal with it. So in other words, becoming alert and aware that there are things going on, you can then start to cooperate with your body's processes of getting well. And I'm telling you, I did this so long. I was talking about how awful everything was, and the 3 huge nodules, with the doctor coming at me with this turkey baster sized needle and going right into my neck. I mean, it was the worst thing I'd ever experienced when I had to have those biopsies on all 3 of them. It was horrible. But, I had that. My face was as big as a moon. I was well over 200 pounds. I felt awful. I could barely walk with the plantar fasciitis, rosacea. It was like, what is going on here? My whole world is falling apart. But that is when I learned and understood that my autoimmune disease that I was dealing with, Hashimoto's, is out of control because I was out of control. I didn't take control of it. And when I started to take control of it and be a part of the process of it, being mindful of my diet, getting my gut healed, using the L-glutamine, using the bone broth that I still drink every single day, using the Perfect Paleo Protein with the collagen that I still take almost every single day. On the weekends, I take a day off and eat breakfast. But the point is that was healing. That was taking a positive step into the healing activity that my body desperately wanted to be a part of. My body wanted to be a part of it, but we were all disconnected. So it was like corralling and bringing in all your friends, to help. It was like our moving day that we had here till 2:30 in the morning. It's just like people showed up and helped. And that's what we get to do with our body is we need to let them know what our needs are and say, I want to help you heal yourself. I know that sounds really, weird and out there, but it made a big difference about being mindful about what was going on inside of me and understanding that I needed to take care of it. Now, I've shared 100 times, and it's even in Part-Time Paleo, that I don't like yoga. And everybody kept saying, do yoga, do yoga, do yoga. Well, I did yoga. And for me, yoga just was not my friend. I just did not like it. It stressed me out. Some yoga moves like I'll do now, even just because they're nice and stretchy and whatever, but I don't take a yoga class. I found barre classes, though, to be really good because I used to take ballet, for years when I was a kid. And so for me, that was kind of a thing of, that's where I put my physical movement into. And it made all the difference. You can see I'm having a hot flash, right? That made all the difference in the world. So I have now, now everything is under control. So I got I upped everything as far as my supplements were concerned, as far as my diet was concerned. I absolutely 100% pulled dairy out of my life. I mean, gone. No, Parmesan cheese, which in Part-Time Paleo, I tell you exactly how to use cheese so that it's not going to be a problem. But it was a problem for me. And with that horrible rosacea that was all over my face, I mean, I'm sure you can't even believe it was so bad. I've got a picture somewhere. I know Marla's got a picture of it too. I sent it to her. But, with all of that going on, my body was walking inflammation. I had that disease and I had that. So I changed out my thyroid medication for sure. And as a matter of fact, I will advise you to do this, Kathy, and anybody else who has Hashimoto's. I found this, I saw it on Facebook, and I think I saved it somewhere, but a woman had posted a picture of herself. She said, this is me on Synthroid, and this is me on, I can't remember the one she's using, but it's just the thyroid that has, you know, is not a synthetic. And Armor was one, but what is the one? Gosh, I can't even think of Nature Throid. That's the one that I take, and that's the one that she was on. And the difference, she had a big moon face, and the difference after, and she hadn't lost any weight, just a few weeks, she had a completely different face, and the inflammation was gone. Her face wasn't puffy and whatever. You could see her eyes and her cheekbones and everything. And that's because she changed a medication that just wasn't working for her. Some people do really well on Synthroid. I've got a girlfriend who cannot do any of the bioidentical, you know, thyroid medications, and Synthroid works great for her. And I've have other girlfriends it just doesn't work at all. There's so many people that I know that are dealing with thyroid issues. But thyroid can be a real problem. It could be problems with adrenals as well, and sometimes those go hand in hand. But the biggest thing that you have to look at is that you have to get your stress under control. You have to get your diet on point. You can't mess with it. No gluten, no dairy, no even eggs for a while, but consider yourself having, you know, super issues. And with you and what you're talking about here in your whole, you know, big, all of the stuff about having to take Claritin and everything, you might take a look at an antihistamine diet, a histamine diet. Because, so for example, bone broth, which is so good for you, is also high in histamine. And there's other foods that are high in histamine. So you might want to try a low histamine diet for a little while and see if that doesn't make a difference. Now, when you try something out, you have to do it religiously for at least 3 weeks. And that's how you're going to see, hey, this is the case, or no, this is not the case. But sometimes that's what it could be. It could be something that simple. I would also suggest, and you can buy them on Amazon, getting a food sensitivity test. Now, you want the kind that they're going to demand blood. So and I will tell you something else too. They give you the little stick and you put the blood on all the cards and they will test for all the most common things. When you go to stick your finger, this is just a little hint, stick it on the side. If you stick it right here, we have lots of nerve endings here, but on the side we don't, and it won't, you know, when you're using typing and things like that. I don't know why they don't do that on a regular basis, but my friend Alan Christensen taught me this. But stab yourself on the side of your finger, it won't hurt, and then blot your card and then send it in. You can get one for less than $100, and it will let you know if you have any food sensitivities, because sometimes that's all it is you just have this over thing of food sensitivities, and that's crazy. So I think that's everything. I think I told you everything. The topic, you know, for me, this is personal. This is something that I went through. I ask Marla. I was crying. My face was inflamed. Everything on me was inflamed. But it wasn't until I mindfully took control of the situation. I corrected everything that I could correct, my diet, the food, everything that was going inside of me. I corrected my supplements and I corrected my stress levels. And I, you know, used my phone to meditate and to really bring everything in. That's what we have to do. We have to bring everything in and put it, you know, one by one under control. So I hope that helps. And for anybody who's listening today who has any kind of autoimmune disease, I really encourage you to start just really loving yourself and your body to the point where you're saying, you know, I understand you're under stress. I understand all these things that are going on. And as you're meditating, that you're speaking to that part of your body that's weak and struggling. I spoke to my thyroid. I even spoke to my skin when I was meditating and going through all of this, because I wanted to wake up the sensibilities, if you will, of everything within my body and be a part of the journey of the healing journey. And I did it in record time because I dropped all that weight. When I went to go see, and as a matter of fact, here on the Saving Dinner page, if you go through all of my videos, you can see me getting an ultrasound of where I had those 3 big modules, and it was time for the checkup. And Alan Christensen, who's my thyroid doctor, who is an absolute miracle worker, He did the ultrasound. It's right here. And he said, there's nothing, it's all gone. And he declared me in remission. And I mean, it's not supposed to happen like that. And the doctors will tell you, it doesn't happen like that. But it did for me, and I believe it can for others too. It's taking your journey seriously. It's being a part of the journey. It's being a fellow sojourner with the disease that you're battling, and understanding and loving your body enough to give it what it needs. And if you're quiet and introspective and praying and meditating, I believe you'll get to that place. That's just how it works. So I wanted to let you know too that I've extended the sale. Marla goaded me into it today on the show. I extended the sale to be, let's see, I have it going till I think midnight tonight. Okay. So if you want 15% off anything in the shop, now it has to be something that's in stock. Okay. And it has to be at least $27 or it doesn't make sense. Then go in there and go stock up and take advantage of it. It's August 1st, all one word with a capital A when you put it in the code, and that's how that'll work. So I'm going to, and remember too, if you want me to answer any of your questions, you need to send them into support@savingdinner.com, and I will answer them like I did Kathy and Judy and Veronica's today. Great questions, and I hope I was helpful in answering them. This book is going to be given away on Monday. So be around to see who's going to get the book. And if you're interested in Take Back Your Life, I would go get that journal today, because I would love, for everybody who gets it, you're going to get the workshop that goes with it, and you'll get joined into the Take Back Your Life Facebook group. And if if we do that together, I can help you with this whole process, because it was one of the biggest, this just lit me up when I was thinking, yes, this is what I can do in 90 days. So it's pretty fun. Anyway, I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous weekend, and I hope to see you. Do you have low carb recipes with a few ingredients? Penny, I do. I've got the low carb things. I have different packages. Yes, I do. I'll show you a couple of them. For example, I have Crave Crusher. These are supplements that help with fixing your leptin and getting rid of your cravings, but these two things can come together. So there's packages there. Just Juice Veggies. We've got a couple of packages of things together. We have a gut healing package that I believe has the L-glutamine, the Proactive Probiotic, and Fiber Mender. Getting super low on the Fiber Mender, you guys. There's stuff there. You can just go take a look. You can go shopping if you like. Just go to store.savingdinner.com and you can have fun. Don't forget the code, August 1st. That's how it works. I will see you on Monday, or I might show up on the weekend. You never know with me. And I really appreciate all of you showing up here. Remember to share the video. Share the video. Win a book. I've got 8 of these, you guys. It could happen. Thanks for showing up today. Take care. Bye-bye.